The relationship between the results you get in the gym and how much time you spend training is as following. A lot of people have the misconception that the more work you do, the more results you get, that the relationship between results and work is linear. That's not true. The more work you do, the more results you get up to a certain point, but the more work you do, the less results you get from each unit of added work. If you will go and train for 3 hours for the next week, you will get a certain amount of results, let's say 10 units of them. But if you will go and train for 6 hours, you will not get 20 units, you will get between 12 to 14. That's diminishing results. That's the relationship between work and results. Really think about it. If more equals better, people who train 16, 17, 18 times per week would see more results, which, right? But not only that, here is when it becomes problematic. The more work you do, the less sustainable it becomes, and consistency is key. The only disclaimer to doing less giving you more results per unit of time is if you do it consistently. If you train every week for 3 hours, you will see great results. But if you train for 12 hours once a month, you will not. Consistency is key, and that's the main problem with doing more for most people. I'm all for discipline, but the problem is that people sacrifice consistency. They sacrifice doing some work sometimes for the sake of doing more. They don't really do more. They say they do more, they try to do more, but they are not capable of doing more, so they don't do more. They are not consistent. And here's the thing: if having a harder training plan, a harder diet, a harder whatever, training for more time, performing more sets per week equals being less consistent by 10, 20, 30%, it's probably not worth it, because the value of consistency is usually higher than the value of more work, especially if you train for at least 3 hours per week. Because without consistency, everything else goes out of the window. Find what you can do, consistently stick to it, do it, and get the result you deserve. To deliver this point, I want to present to you with two people, imaginary people, and I want you to tell me which one sees more results. The first guy, he trains 3 times per week. What he does is a full body split. Each session takes him 3 hours. He skips a workout here and there, maybe once a month, but he goes most of the times. He hit his protein goal for the day almost every day, around 1 gram per pound of body weight. He sleeps as much as he needs, and he does all of those things consistently. The second guy, he trains 6 times per week. His consistency is 70%, so he skips more workouts than the first guy. Sometimes he's not motivated to go for a leg day, so he doesn't go to it. He skips a lot of leg days, some push workouts or pull workouts here and there. He does a push-pull leg split, and he doesn't really hit his protein intake for the day. He eats around zero point 0.7 grams per pound of body weight, and he sleeps 7 hours. Out of these two people, assuming they have the same genetics, who should see more results? You can argue that the second guy should see more results because 70% of 6 times per week is 4 days per week and not 3. But I would argue that if you take that 70% consistency, and let's say that those 2 workouts per week that he doesn't go to are all leg days, you can argue that he will see less results because of the diminishing effect of results in the gym. Basically, he will gain 7 pounds or 6 pounds less muscle than the first guy, and all of that muscle mass will come from his leg gains. Maybe he will see half a pound or 1 pound more gains from his upper body, and that's the thing. In some weird contradictory way, if that same guy would lock in his protein intake more and his sleep more and would train 3 times instead of 6, he would probably see more results. If we ignore the protein intake and the sleep of the second guy and only look at him having less leg days, we can say that he probably gained less muscle than the first guy in absolute amounts. But let's say that we don't ignore those things. We know they are important. We know that consuming enough protein is important. We know that sleeping enough recovery is important. If we don't ignore them, he gains, I don't know if much less, but less muscle than the first guy, assuming he doesn't even skip his leg days. And he skips random 2 workouts per week. And that's the thing. The first guy with the same genetics, a better recovery and a better diet would see more results if he trains 3 times instead of 4 with the goal of training 6 times. And that's the message of this video. Find what you can do. Don't be like the second Damas who embark on that 6 times per week training plan, even though you cannot really sustain it. If you can sustain your current training plan, the 6 times, 5 times per week, then don't fucking do it. That's a mistake I see so many beginners make, and even more advanced lifters who stay stuck at the beginner phase when it comes to their muscle gain, or at the intermediate phase when they are advanced. They keep using that training plan that they are not consistent in. And because of that, because of their lack of consistency, they get much subpar results. What I need you to do is to do a hard reset, is to find a training plan you know for certainty you can stick to. It can be a 3 times per week training plan or 2 times per week. Just make sure you train all major muscle groups that you want to grow. Embark on it, do it for a few weeks, and then you can do the 4 times or 5 times per week. This is the message I need more people who struggle with consistency to hear, because it is so crucial that you hear it. Your lack of consistency probably comes from your training plan, because discipline, if you want the results, is probably not an obstacle. If you eat a pretty decent diet and you sleep enough, it's probably not an obstacle. It's probably your training plan. It's probably how much time you can allocate to training per week. And if discipline is your obstacle, training less will allow you to be more consistent with less discipline. And then when you do it consistently, when you have 100% or 95% consistency, that's where you know I can make it harder. I can develop both more discipline and see marginally better results. And that's what I want you to do. And that's basically it. If you enjoyed this video, you can subscribe. And if you want to be more committed to this journey, you can get some stuff I sell in the description. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.